We're going to come onto our hands and knees to do one of my favorite flows, the cat-cow flow. If this doesn't feel good under your knees, you can put a blanket or a block underneath, or you could double up your mat, maybe a pillow, something soft. If it doesn't feel good on your wrists, you might be able to come onto your forearms. The cat-cow flow is really nice for any tension in your shoulders and to get some more movement into the pelvis. So let's set this up. We'll come onto our hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide so that you can get a nice line from your shoulders, elbows to your wrists. Fingers are apart like a starfish, and your knees are underneath your hips. Sometimes people come back too far like this, and that doesn't feel as good. So we'll get this set up. Maybe your toes are tucked under, maybe your feet are flat. Press your hands into the mat and keep your belly strong. Let your neck look down comfortably. And then on an inhale, we're gonna let our belly drop down low. And if you have the mobility in your neck, look up just a little bit. So this is the inhale. And then exhale, we'll reverse this into cat, tucking your chin, spreading your shoulder blades to the outside, so letting them drop down, protracting them, drawing your belly to your spine, and pressing your back up by pressing your hands into the mat. This is the exhale. We'll come back to the inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let these be nice and smooth and slow, just moving with your breath. And then after we do a couple rounds of this, we'll add in some more movements in any direction that feels good to you. So you might make some circles over your wrists to let your wrists warm up. And if you make a circle, inhale half of the circle and exhale half of the circle. If you go one direction, turn it around and go the opposite direction. You might also like to move your body more like a barrel. So dropping the belly down low, out to the side, back up, and over to the other side. And again, if you go in one direction, go the other direction. Allow your belly muscles to pull to the spine so that they are really engaged when you come up to the top. Go. You might like some side to side movement for your wrists, or even placing your fingers out to the edges of the mat, and some little gentle movements. Some of you working on some arm balances and things might like to warm your wrists up in this way. If that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. That's our rule for everything. If it doesn't feel good, back off. No sharp burning pains. All right, now we're gonna come into a little bit of balance challenge here from this pose. So setting yourself back up into tabletop, so you're nice and balanced, hands are pressing in, belly's not down, it's not up, it's just kind of in neutral. We're going to step the right leg back. And if it feels good here, you can stay here. Or if you like, you might be able to lift the foot up and maybe flex it down. Don't let your shoulders drop. Keep pressing your hands in and keeping your shoulders strong. If you like a little extra, take the opposite hand, so the left hand, and let it start to reach out in front of you. And again, don't let yourself sag. Keep pressing in here. Let your gaze be just a little bit in front of you, and we'll bring it back down. If this has been kind of a lot on your wrists and you want a little bit of a break, we can keep our hips over our knees and let our arms reach out in front of us and bring the chest, chin, whatever comes down, coming into puppy pose or Anahata Asana. Scooch back so you can see a little more. And doing our nice yoga breathing in and out through the nose. We'll come back up and we'll set this up on the other side. So we get our balance back and extend this time the left leg. You can stay here Or if you can find a little balance, bring the foot up. If you're working on finding some height, here you can stick a block underneath your foot and use that to help you work on the strength and the balance to lift the leg. The next option is to take the right hand out and let your gaze be just a little bit in front of you, focusing on your core strength, not letting your shoulders sag. And bring it back down. Very nice. You can repeat that same sequence, or if you would like to bring something a little bit different in, we'll reach our hand back for that back leg. You can use a strap to grab a hold of it, or a belt, or see if you can find it with your hand. So we'll do the right side first. Again, finding our balance in our hands. Nice distance apart. Extend the right leg back. Lift it up and bend. Keeping the weight in the right hand, lift the left hand, reach it back. Now see if you can lift the thigh a little higher off the ground. If you press the foot into the hand, you'll stretch your shoulder more. If you bring your shoulder more forward and let the back of the leg draw into the body, you'll stretch the front of your leg. So find a spot that feels good for you. And then you can also, if you don't want to have the balance there, you can keep your knee on the ground and reach back for the foot that way too. All right, let's set it up on the other side. Left leg comes back, off the ground, bend the knee, reaching back with the right hand, and giving yourself permission to play around. Where does this feel good? Is it lower? Do you like to push your foot back and work on the shoulder and heart opening a little bit more? Do you like to draw the foot in and get the quad stretch? Totally up to you. And then we'll release, come back down, and let's come again into the Anahata Asana, reaching our hands forward, letting the chest, belly come down to the ground, and breathing. Come on back. We'll move on to a little bit of an arm stretch here. Taking the right hand underneath the left arm, we can start to drop down and stretch the shoulder. It might feel really nice to have a blanket and a block here. So I'm going to put a block covered up with a blanket and let my shoulder or neck rest on that while I'm enjoying the stretch. You can hold this for as long as you want to. If you'd like to change it a little bit, you can take the top arm and reach it over and behind you. Maybe it stays on your side. Maybe you can reach back around and thread it into your inner thigh. And we'll release this side. And come on to the other side. This time I'll do it without the blocks. Letting my left arm go underneath my right. And if you choose, you can bring the hand up, over, maybe it can grab into the thigh. So hold that as long as you like, and then you can move on to sun salutations or another option from our page.